Welcome, everyone. I would like to welcome you all at our webinar, Unleashing the Power of Salesforce Multi-Cloud Solutions for the Manufacturing Industry. My name is Alexandra. I'll be your host for today, making sure everything is on track. We are scheduled for about 45 minutes, and whenever you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Now, without any further ado, let me introduce our amazing speakers, Nazar Makitin and Lisa Hospodarenko. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alexandra. And on our agenda today, we're going to go through just a brief round of introductions. We're actually going to try something fun and introduce each other with Nadar. We're going to talk about what sets Redtag apart and how over the years we've gained experience with manufacturing customers in particular, but also in the Salesforce ecosystem in general. Then we're going to dive into the manufacturing industry processes. We'll give you the practical tools that you can take away in order to understand the manufacturing, understand what parts of processes can apply to Salesforce, and how you can kind of create this strategy out of the processes that we're looking to cover. And we're going to wrap up with some of the particular strategies that our team has deployed that we have seen succeed and that can act as entry points for you to consider Salesforce with any manufacturing operation. And thank you so much for your time. In a great Salesforce tradition, we do appreciate you always willing to learn and joining us for these kind of activities. I'll start by introducing Nazar. So Nazar is the CEO of Redtag. He has been at it since 2013, so gained over 10 years of experience. Started as a Salesforce developer, interestingly enough, and then made his way to running a consulting company. Redtag is also a summit consultancy, which we're very proud of. And one of the things that I also wanted to highlight about Nazar and about our company, our motto is a chance to grow. This is something that we all truly believe in, providing opportunities for everyone around us to get better, to constantly learn and improve with every day and every opportunity. So we give those opportunities to improve both to our customers and to our internal employees. And one fun fact about Nazar, he is an avid runner. He's very great at it. And just last year, he ran his first half marathon. And Nazar, correct me if I'm wrong, you're aiming for a full marathon this year.
Well, hope so. And thank you so much for the introduction. We'll see how it goes with marathon, but whenever you set goals in the future, you always get at least better, and you will get to achieve them. And I would like to introduce Lisa. Lisa, she's a really great person. First of all, she's super active, super energetic, and I really enjoy working together with our customers with different challenges and different ways to improve business processes for our teams. And the way Lisa works with anybody or gets involved is like when she's really passionate about making sure that it's not just selling something, and it's not that's why she's sales champion, but making sure that she actually brings to the customer what's needed, and make sure that the way we work together with other teams, they make most out of our collaboration and of use of Salesforce. And Lisa is a avid beekeeper, so she has usually she even smuggles some honey in the States, and because she lives in Canada, and I say it's really great honey. How's it going with honey? Do you have some more left there?
I think everybody's gonna have to wait for the new supply. We're
really?
down to we're down to 1 liter. So just between sharing with friends, neighbors, and definitely eating a lot of honey ourselves, we're running low. But hey, the new year's coming up, so.
Well, I'm really looking forward to more honey. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for this warm introduction. Our team at Redtag, so we are a pretty big team. Like you're seeing today, myself, Nazar, and Alexander from our wonderful marketing team, but we are actually over 100 plus Salesforce certified experts. We invest a lot in our team's education. So we have an internal Redtag Academy, and everyone that you work with or everyone that you interact with from our team, not only is an interesting human being, as you can tell, but we're also Salesforce certified, and we take work with Salesforce very seriously. We have a lot of people of the architect level as well who have 10 plus certifications and continue keeping up with everything as it relates to Salesforce and development. And our dedication to our craft definitely translates into the customer's feedback as well. You can read through our App Exchange listing, which is an official marketplace for Salesforce. Our rating is at 5 stars out of 5, of which we're very proud. I tell it quite a bit, but the way it runs in our company, that we always are going to do everything that's right by the client. And we're always going to make sure that they end up loving Salesforce, because Salesforce is a powerful tool, and we understand that a lot can be done to implement it properly. So we're going to hold the hands and we're going to train the customers to end up loving the tool after interacting with us. And as you have heard, we've been in the market for 10 years. So over these 10 years, what also really sets us apart is we've developed different ways of working with customers. We can both provide Salesforce consulting services, so do the process mapping, interview the stakeholders, visualize all the processes that you guys currently have, and help you take it to the next level where they can be improved through the implementation services. We can also provide a dedicated team. We understand that everybody's at a different part of their journey. So sometimes you just need somebody who can come into your organization and help you out on a daily, do the tasks, help you work with your internal stakeholders to create that vision. This is something where Redtag is a partner, where we have over 30 plus partnerships worldwide where we provide that kind of managed service. And last but not least, our team is very strong in custom development. 10 years ago, we started from focusing on development and then expanded into configurations. So not only we can do things out of the box that are going to fit your needs, but we can also create some custom things that just take solution to the next level. And now I'll hand it off to Nadar to highlight just one more thing that makes our company more unique, I would say, that a lot of other partners in the field.
Thank you, Lisa, for explaining what we do. We always, the way we are working, we have our values in everything, and we always start with building trust and relationship. And this journey with Salesforce or any system, it always long journey, and we want that be trustful thing. It's something like where you are willing to invite us or somebody to your home, which is like the trust you give when you implement Salesforce. And it's really important to have that. And we work always as one team with a client. And by the client, it means anybody, basically. It actually can be a person within our team, because when I ask you to do something, you're the client. The same thing with CRM. Basically, when you do any service or anything, you work with the client. It can be in public sector, it can be in manufacturing, it can be in media, or even a patient in a hospital is a client. And we really love our craft. We see ourselves like superstars, growing from being on a stage as with what you know. And this is the way, like, you think when you have hobbies. You always subscribe to different pages in your social media, and that's like what we do with Salesforce inside when you work with it. We always focus on the result, make sure that we deliver it really well, and that everybody wins from it. And we're really passionate about what we are doing. It starts with really small ideas, where sometimes we can see ourselves as a kid thinking about going to the space. And then we become those astronauts, whether we fly around Salesforce ecosystem, and not just the Salesforce ecosystem, and more around that way we see, like, as we reach in those stars. Lisa, you're on mute.
Oh, my apologies. Thank you so much, Nadar. I will add just from the personal side as well that I personally think that values matter a lot, especially when you work with businesses on something as sensitive as their internal processes. So whenever you work with Redtag, you can rely on us to follow these values. And whenever you work with customers, I think can recognize it as well. Especially customers who, I think work in manufacturing or produce something. These are people who are very hands-on, very proud of what they do, and we're proud of what we do as well. So that's why we have a lot of alignment. I'm gonna next hand off to Nadar to start talking about some of the architectural pieces and starts kind of setting up the discussion of what are some of these processes in manufacturing that's worth paying attention to within the context of Salesforce and IT digital transformation, and then I'll take it off from Nazar to talk about the strategies. Nazar, back to you.
Thank you, Lida. Yeah, and I guess it's like what everybody's here for, to understand how actually you can use those approaches in a way to use Salesforce better. And at Redtag, we always start with thinking not about the tool, but about how we work and where we are in the real world. And real world is not like greenfield or like vacuum that we have only one system. But there is a lot of different moving pieces. And when we think about, in our case, about manufacturing, manufacturing has already established processes because it's been around like for centuries, and a lot of things are like same. Yes, the businesses can be different, but most of the processes are similar. And which allows us to understand how we work, see what differences are and what other systems are already in place. And if you look in here, everything starts with marketing. So you either market your existing product, or you research the market and understand if the product that you are going to develop is going to be really good fit. And then doing this, you understand like how you do the lead generation. So from leads, how they can become a prospect, and that those campaigns that you did, you have the good analytics to understand if you want to do them in the future again. And then when you get opportunities, how to make sure that they are well managed, sales team can understand what they're doing, you understand which products are selling better. And after that, you go to like quotes and more like product and service catalogs that you work through. And in those quotes, you don't really want to do a manual part. You need to have like automations, which is really a lot of pieces that usually we think, oh, we are working already this way and it's been out like this for many years and we are fine. But some other companies already implemented and moving much faster. So we need to pay attention to what trends are out there, and using Salesforce and things that can improve your way. There's always a way to be more efficient. And from there, you go to contract and orders. And in Salesforce, you can have a lot of pieces where customers can do self-service in ordering, or you can automate price management part. And after they ordered, they usually will have a question, where is my order? And instead of spending time wasting like somebody's time checking it, if you have a right system in place, it will allow you to see that management, where it comes from, and use what assets you need to use to keep it installed. And doesn't matter if that's software or if it's hardware, any product that is being produced will need service. Nothing goes after like customer being happy, being successful, if you don't provide that service. And we want to make sure that our teams in field service are doing optimal routes. They have right inventory to fix something, or customers get help right away. And if you, for example, use external teams, we know what qualities they are and how we can better utilize our own teams. And as all the processes in the platform, we are on the go with mobile, and Salesforce, most of the things are mobile first, and so which allows us to do a lot of our work right away. And right now, especially with AI being a big thing, and we really have a lot of hopes that it will help us to improve our work. And I see really a lot of interesting ways that in future we will have our teams working together with AI as a tool much more efficient. I don't see that it will substitute a lot of things, but it will, if you will not use it, we will definitely will be way behind our competitors. And as already mentioned, we don't live in one system. We have usually multiple systems, and usually they need to be integrated, because especially in the world of data, world of AI, if you have siloed products, siloed data in different systems, it just will be wrong answers, wrong statistics, wrong analytics, and you need really work on that. And from here, let's take a look which Salesforce products we can use to implement those processes. We usually start, as I showed you, the blueprint, and we dive deeper in each step. And each step can be, for example, sales part. And when we work on that step with your team, we go into like small details, working with each stakeholder. We create a streamline process where we understand that, oh, here we are losing our leads, or our opportunities can be automated. Or for example, our quota, we spend 3 days or even weeks, sometimes it happens, to provide a quota for our customer, instead of doing it within hours or even automatically, that they can do self-service. And what Salesforce allows is have, as we said, it starts with marketing. So you have a bunch of different channels. We want to be where our customers are, and customers now, some of them use mobile, some of them still are using like old school computers where they just stick in emails, or somebody has a telephone and they just use phones. Well, usually I think not that many left only on the phones, but we still want to be where our customers are. And when you create a product, you want it to be in Salesforce, so you see how you can how the product is created and goes from ERP usually, but it gets into Salesforce, so you can sell it. And selling starts with marketing, because usually you need to create do demand generation, and from there you will start with the sales part. And in Salesforce, products are called clouds, and clouds is not because they are just somewhere in the sky, but it's because we have really cool computing system that allows us to be really efficient, and really actually thankful to Salesforce about, because they take care of all really complicated processes, supporting and improving and innovating the system, which usually would require huge amount of money to be spent on teams. It's not just even money, it's also like finding the right people. It's so complicated, especially nowadays. So from here, we really see that products like Sales Service Cloud can help you to improve, and especially on, excuse me, on service side for manufacturing. When you provide your teams with support and the field service part, you should really be paying attention where they go, and route optimization. And I really enjoy it, because route optimization helps teams not just wander around the city, but spend time with the customer and take more calls, take more, make more customers happy, and utilize your teams much better. And to do all that, we have analytical parts where we work with the data to make decisions better, but also then later we provide intelligence, like real-time automations. And as you already said, we can do a lot of those parts with integrations, which Salesforce allows using MuleSoft or standard API to API integrations, and where we combine all the data sources together. So this is a Salesforce Cloud that we usually implement to make sure that this process is streamlined, and that we have a great opportunity to optimize. And we understand that usually it's not just one product that fixes everything, and it's not just about the product. It's really about how to make things work better, so make your business more efficient.
Thank you so much, Nazar.
Questions? Yep, sorry, Lisa. Yeah, if there are questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. it's really nice to have the conversation with Lisa, but I see a lot of great people out there. So we would love you to join and respond to your comments or questions.
Yeah, definitely reach out. And just to also summarize what Nadar just said, in an ideal world, a business has all these processes in place and there are technologies to cover all these processes. In reality, and the main thing that we're trying to convey today is that some things are going to work better, some things are going to not work so much, not so well. Usually when we talk to like different kinds of businesses, not all of them are going to have as much complexity as manufacturing. But because manufacturing has that complexity, it also gives us the opportunity to truly look into each part separately and truly dive into both pains, internal drivers, and like motivators for the customer. So we want to understand you, like we want to understand of what's working well, what perhaps needs a bit of improvement, because there is a large scale of possibilities that we can look at. What our goal is to help you find those things first of all, then prioritize them. So see what will give you the fastest time to value, and then help you implement it. So you see that value and then continue moving forward and continue going through the process of change. Like change is not easy. And that's one of the things that we're also very conscious and we're also very, very humble about. And change doesn't have to come in this like big chunk of things. Like change can come incrementally by looking at like different parts of your process and seeing how we can adapt. Once again, I want to say one more time that any questions are welcome. I'm going to dive now into more of a tactical things. So please, let's continue the conversation and dive in. Now let's talk about more tactical things. So what are some of those areas where we saw customers have the fastest time to value and where we have seen from our experience implementing and working with manufacturing clients where there is the greatest uplift? So the first and foremost is the product combination of Sales Cloud plus CPQ, also known as Configure Price Quote product, and document generation. This is what can take us from the lead stage all the way to contract stage, and with document generation and someday maybe payment capabilities to cash. So when you're talking to customers, when you're talking to the revenue officers, that idea of covering lead to cash process and modernizing the way they run commercial operations is the one that we see resonate a lot with manufacturers. I'm going to show you also something of why it resonates and why customers are making that shift right away. So first of all, they really get boggled down by a lot of manual processes, and then they're starting to feel like they're losing revenue. In fact, so this is one of the actual revenue cases that we ran with a customer, that just by removing the manual steps and increasing the opportunity win rate for that particular customer, they're able to generate an additional 720,000 worth of revenue into their pipeline. This is huge. And this is just assuming that the average quote value is just calculated at $10,000. We often see that for manufacturers, it's smaller teams, higher ticket values, which makes this revenue uplift even higher. You can also explain to them that we know that you're losing revenue, and if you're you need to know why you're losing revenue first of all, and second of all, you need to stop doing it. Like you need to find a ways where you can start tracking things, optimize your processes, and find that additional uplift. So this is just kind of the first area where we see a lot of wins happening just by Sales Cloud, CPQ, document generation, and overall quoting efficiency improvement. One more area, and this is something that Nazar already touched on, that we can always look at the manufacturing company as somebody who needs service. So as opposed to taking the very front of the process where we have sales and marketing sitting down, if we take the maintenance piece, that's where a lot of manufacturers are starting to realize they need process improvement. So what we are often talking to them about is we talk about transforming service experience. So how can we help, you, the service manager, find a bit more time in your day? How can we help you stop worrying about tracking customer warranties and just having it all in one system? Or how can we help you manage your outside contractors? Like we understand, like you can't potentially own the whole repair maintenance department, so you're going to reach out to other companies to help you. But how can you make sure that these people stand up to your quality, that these people offer the same quality that you have when it comes to maintenance? And that's where Service Cloud and field service lighting come into play very beautifully. So you can manage service requests, warranties. One of the interesting things that we've observed with the customer, and that just honestly blew my mind, that's why I put it in like a big big round highlight on the slide, is you can save, we have a customer who saved 50% of gas costs from implementing field service. How? So the customer ran construction crews, and just by optimizing the routes that their employees had to take in order to get to the job site, they reduced the gas cost by 50%. It was a huge expense. Reducing it by 50% definitely helped the customer save money and put that money towards better use. A couple more strategies that we often look into is also manufacturing, CRM, and CPQ. So this is where we talk about implementing different ways of planning and running the account-based forecasting. What we often see is that once the customers have their base process covered, they really start caring about scaling. And one of the big things that manufacturers experience when they start, from just servicing, for example, 20 clients to servicing 200 clients, is that they often start dealing with distributors, resellers. They often start running into forecasting demands. Like, for example, I'm a hardware store. I buy the gardening supplies from this American manufacturer. As soon as when I'm having these supplies, for example, in one of my stores, I don't really need to deploy any advanced account forecasting. But as soon as, for example, they tell me, oh, I love your gardening supplies, let me put you in 100 more stores, that's when manufacturing cloud, analytics, and proper quoting can come into play, because that's where you're going to have to put internal processes in place so your manufacturing is aware of what's happening. And then you have to create basically self-service rails for your accounts too, where they can easily place orders, easily plan with you just the yearly amounts, and get the product on time. Because as soon as you start scaling, getting things done on time, on budget, as per the forecasted agreement becomes paramount. And then a few more strategies that we see all revolve around partner engagement, different ways of modernizing commerce, and eventually taking the insights from all the different parts in where you have Salesforce implemented and bringing them into a cohesive, solid vision for your whole operation. With the partner engagement, we very often see the use of Experience Cloud or actually field service lighting, depending on the type of the engagement that the customer has. What Experience Cloud allows you to do, though, is you can expose, for example, different co-selling opportunities. So you can work with your distributor to see what are current customers you're working on, or, for example, if you have partners who help you break into new markets, you can collaborate on those things as well. And same with the service. So you can deploy community portals in order for your customers to have a self-service experience, or in order to give your partners access to materials to better service the customers. Hopefully not too complicated, but just to recap, we've covered sales, we've covered the service part of things, we've covered how you can scale sales with the advanced forecasting and things like that, and now we're covering those partner relationships. So some of those channels that we see customers need help in, and customers can use Salesforce products in. And then, apologies. And then last but not least, when it comes to modernizing the experience, the experience that customers have, the trend is that 63, it's actually statistics provided from Salesforce, but 63% of customers are increasingly prefer digital experience over in-person experience. So there's definitely still, as Nazar said, we have to tailor to our customers. So if you have customers who are used to calling, we're definitely going to aim to facilitate that experience as well. But still, the majority of the market is, and the shift is that so everybody's looking for self-service. Everybody's looking for convenient ways to quickly place an order, reorder, submit a payment, and track basically all my interaction with the vendor. This is where Salesforce Commerce products come into play and offer the upper hand. We even very often see smaller manufacturers deploy commerce. Like, for example, we have this one customer who, over the 20 plus years of company's existence, used to work through resellers. And now they're realizing that they have an upper hand, so they decided to go to direct to consumer. And that's where both B2B Commerce Cloud, that was for their B2B customers, and D2C for the direct consumers, were a great solution to help them take what they built over 20 years and migrate into the new rails. So now they're the ones who are not losing their revenue and making every little penny from their work. I know I covered a lot, and one of the things that I also wanted to take away. So talk about sales, talked about service, talked about ways to scale it. So experience, cloud, commerce. We talked about manufacturing, forecasting, and now in order to bring it all into a cohesive experience. So in order to deliver on what Salesforce calls Customers 360, we have products like Data Cloud and MuleSoft middleware provider that can help you bring data from all your systems into Salesforce and create a unified customer experience, a unified customer profile. To give you an idea of how powerful it is, in my previous life, I used to work in operations. I worked for a manufacturing company on the purchasing side. And a part of my daily routine was to make sure that all the information between my ERP system, between my CRM, that at that point used to live in different spreadsheets, and between like my emails, it's all synchronized, even on for such simple things as address. Like I had to go in and spend like good 15 hours a day, which translates to quite a bit of time a week, double checking that the addresses were correct. Well, by deploying things like Data Cloud and by piping integrations with middleware products like MuleSoft, you can remove all those issues and you can ensure that all the data across all your systems is synchronized, is up to date, and is error-proof, which is frankly the biggest thing that you're looking to achieve. Because trust me, when I was an admin and I had to look at 10 addresses and manually verify them, mistakes were made. And this is where products like Data Cloud and MuleSoft can help us avoid those mistakes. And also drive the insights that can later help us make better decisions while simplifying the life of everyone around. Wonderful. So we've covered quite a bit today. We are going to provide you also with sources to both look at the blueprints and the ways you can reach out. Please don't hesitate to reach out to Redtag with any questions or concerns. Let's dive into the Q&A session.
I have
For
questions.
both me and Nazar. Yes, go ahead.
What is your favorite Salesforce products or Service Cloud?
CPQ.
CPQ?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. When I worked for the manufacturing company, in my operations role, I had the pleasure of selecting and implementing an ERP solution. We ended up finding the inventory solution that worked, but it lacked on the quoting side. So at the end of the day, we could have, if we knew about CPQ, we would have implemented CPQ and would have been a better customers than the route that we took with the ERP solution, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I agree. Especially somehow I feel that, yeah, Sales Cloud is a core and it's kind of like feels like a standard that everybody just has to have it. And CPQ is like a really add on the next step, and which is really powerful. And Salesforce in general, more clouds you have, stronger it is, better it gives you opportunity like to work faster, more automations and other cool things that are out there.
and reliable,
Awesome.
which is huge. Awesome. We're having some more questions. If I'm not sure where Salesforce fits best in my business, can Redtag help me find the most efficient path? Yes. So I'll also jump to this slide. Check out the manufacturing blueprints. We'll also send them in the follow-up, or book some time with me by this little QR code in the bottom. But we will start from assessing your processes. So we're not going to start a conversation from saying, oh, you're a manufacturing company, it means you need a sales cloud. No, we're going to take things in a paced way. We're going to interview you to understand what are your current processes, what are your current gaps, and once again establishing these priorities of what do you want to fix first, what's second, what's third. So yes, we will definitely help you to figure out how you can implement Salesforce within your org.
Awesome.
Any more questions? Or well, let's take a look, because I think we have the Q&A. Or maybe we're all done.
Looks like we're all done, and you did a great job with explaining use cases, and I hope I did okay, at least on explaining the processes, and that people were able to find out more about how Salesforce using different clouds together can make a better way of use of it. And we're always there to help if there are any questions or anything else that you need support with.
Thank you so much. And to our next webinar, as I mentioned, our marketing team is doing them quite often. So look forward to your feedback. Look forward to seeing you in next webinars. Have a great day.
Good.
Have a great day. See you at our next webinar.
See you all. Bye.